Today we have the Aught Design Axiom 24 out and about, out on the trail. Recently took this on about a week-long trip. Used it as my everyday carry tech bag, laptops, iPads, all the charging, and a bunch of cameras. You name it was all locked inside. So figured it was time to do a review of the Aught Design Axiom 24 as I look through all the Aught Design bags, but this is the Axiom 24. Let's take a look at all the great features inside this fantastic multicam black X-Pack bag. Let's take a look. Today we are going to look at the Aught Design Axiom 24. This is a bag I've been wanting to review for a long time, and as luck would have it, I went on a trip and needed to make a very critical decision about what bag I was going to take for everyday carry, travel mode, really in a tech pouch, massive tech pouch scenario. So I'm going to talk about all my decision process of why I decided this bag, and then we're going to dive into it and talk about what I think about the Axiom 24. It's been around for a while, still available on the website. It's a fantastic bag by Aught Design and a fantastic material and one of my favorite colors, multicam black. So let's dive into it. But before we do, let's talk about how I came to the conclusion or the decision to take this bag on a multi-day trip. Is actually about a week long to be my carrier of all my everyday carry, laptop, iPads, everything in between. So let's dive into that first. I needed to take a bunch of gear, including both my iPad for video editing, and I use LumaFusion for that. And then I also wanted to bring my laptop just for data entry, and the fact that when I try to upload videos, I don't have a lot of luck using the iPad directly to the internet, and so normally I need to use the MacBook Pro. So anyway, I needed to take all this stuff. I was gonna be gone for a while. Needed camera equipment, all that tech stuff, everything to power it, and then everything I can normally carry. So I really needed to pack everything out in, I really wanted to do one bag travel. So as I've shown you in a previous video, I have a GR2 shooter with a bunch of other decked out equipment in there. So I tried to do that, but I honestly had too much other personal clothing, etc. to make one bag travel really work. It's just the way it worked out this time. So because I couldn't do one bag travel, I went with what's been my kind of go-to, and that is using a GoRuck kit bag as really just the big dump pouch for all of my clothes, shoes, dop kit, you name it. Kind of everything goes in here because I don't need this on the flight. So if I'm taking a flight, I usually just put this in the overhead bin because I don't need any of it. And then I have this in front of me to watch movies, whip out the laptop, do some video editing, whatever I wanted to do. Everything else lives in here, and that's in front of me, and it's a smaller bag. So when I decided to go to two bag travel, which has been my norm lately, I really struggled with what to take as the second bag to load out all my equipment. Now I had some requirements. First of all, I needed to be able to take two laptops and have them both protected and secured. Inside, outside didn't really matter. And then I also wanted to take a water bottle and have quick access to that because staying hydrated, especially when you're traveling in the air, is a priority. So I wanted a water bottle pocket, and I wanted to test out those features in some of these bags. And then again, I had to have two devices secured, my full-size iPad Pro 12.9 inch, and then also the MacBook Pro 13 inch. So that's where things got complicated. And when I say complicated, I mean I really have a ton of options when it comes to a bag that would fit that requirement. So obviously the Aught Design was one of those considered. The Able Carry Max was another one I just recently got, and Carryology Award winner, so why not try this bag? Meets all those requirements. I also had a custom ASIO equipment from the UK. That's not even this. I also had my Evergoods and Carryology Phoenix that I just recently got. Again, ability to carry two laptops. And so I consider that. I recently got a Citadel, and again, this bag meets that requirement, so I consider that. I have a custom ASIO equipment from the UK that I have yet to review, but again, this one also meets that requirement, so I consider that one. And then I have the Alpha 19er Evade 1.5, which you've already seen a review of that. So I had this bag as well, and I've used this before as everyday carry. So all these bags had unique features that made it plus or minus what I wanted to do. Now I've been putting off Aught Design reviews for a while. I don't know why. I really don't have a good excuse. I really do love the bag, And so I figured it was time to dive into the Axiom, take it on a trip, load it out, trick it out, and see what it is. So now that we've gone through all the choices that I had to make, and again, I probably packed out each of these bags with the same equipment. I'm not going to show you all those different variations today because we're going to dive into the Axiom, the triple Aught design Axiom 24. So let's take a look at the Axiom 24. All right, so we picked the Axiom 24. This bag, although it's 24 liters in size, I'm gonna say right off the top, it doesn't fit like 24 liters. It barely fits like a 21 liter bag. Because of all these pockets, when you put stuff in them, it just seems to take away from the inside capacity. And so it really fits more like a 21 liter or a smaller bag when you're trying to put stuff in it. So definitely not a one bag travel for a weekender mode, if you ask me, just because there's just not a lot of room in the inside for stuff. More about that when we show you the inside. But on the outside, again, this is the Axiom in this X-Pack multicam black. So it is fantastic. A lot of great outside features that we'll get into this, but right off the front you can see that the bag is wider at the top, more narrow at the bottom, so definitely not going to really stand unless it's completely packed out, and it is right now, so it definitely stands. So, but it is more narrow at the bottom than it is on the top as you put more stuff in it, so that's one thing to point out there. The biggest negative I have, and we'll just get it out of the way right now, is this top handle. Other people have also complained about it, but again, it's just not enough room in there to maybe to use it as a grab handle. It is solidly built, fantastic, but it's just not going to work for me in other modes aside from this everyday carry mode. Because of this, just not enough room in that to hang it on something. So that is the biggest negative I have about the outside of the bag. But other than that, plenty of features, and like I showed you in a previous video of the Alpha 19er Evade, this is one of those bags that you work out of. So you don't just unpack everything and go to work. You basically unzip this flap and go to work. So there's a big front compartment here, which we'll get into when we talk about the insides. A main compartment zipper, and these are all AquaGuard zippers, which I really absolutely love. They're fantastic. Fits with the whole mode of the bag. And then there's a top pocket. And I'm a big fan of top pockets now. If it's going to be a go-to bag for me, it's going to have a top pocket. Now the difference between this one and the reason I keep going back to the Alpha 19er Evade, that Evade has got a soft pocket. This has got this same sailcloth sort of crinkly material on the top. So it's not as soft to put stuff in, and it's just a little more rigid of a bag overall, completely overall, especially compared to a 500D Evade Light. It's a little more, not crinkly, but it is crackly because it's not high pitched. But it is definitely well made, but it's just not, it's totally accessible. Easier to get than the GoRuck ones. The GoRuck ones are on the back, and you have to kind of, get inside the top pocket. This one's just pretty much, boom, on the top. You have to work your way into it, but it's okay. Again, I like the Evade because it's in the front. It kind of opens up, and you're kind of in and out of it, and it's soft. So that'd be one improvement. I'd probably put a liner in there if I were king. Side zippers, again, you've got the half opening for the front panel, and then you've got the bigger opening here, and then on the side, multiple zippers. Now the reason I went with this one is because of the water bottle pockets, essentially, and those are, the inner zipper here. So the middle zipper, undo this, bam, holds your standard Yeti, and for me the standard is an 18-ounce Yeti, and that one just fits in nicely, and it's lined, and definitely if this was, would leak or whatever, it's not going to get your stuff wet on the inside, and you have two of those, one on each side. Now in this case, I didn't bring both pockets full of water bottles, but you have the ability to put water bottles on both sides. And then the other part is these documents or laptop compartments. Now they go to the bottom, so it's not a false bottom. That's kind of a negative there. If you were going to use this as a rough and tumble bag, you would want to be careful of as you set it down. The pockets are just on top of each other. So on this side, I have the 13-inch MacBook. And then on the other side, slightly padded in there. And then on the other side, I've got the full-size iPad. So you got both of them in there. And that's, again, the reason I picked this bag, because I can put both of them in there. I have easy access depending on what side you go for. And there you go. I've got both. And they're AquaGuard zippers. Single zipper on both sides, so you can't really use it any other way than that. So there you go. Bottom is nothing to report. Standard flat bottom X-Pack material. there is this really cool access pocket. And a lot of Triple Aught designs bags, the Scout is also one that has sort of a stash pocket for maybe a light jacket, and this goes right in that front compartment. Now it is accessible from the inside, which I'll show you in a second, so you can really access this from either the inside or the outside, but that's just a really cool feature if you were going to use this kind of a kick around town bag. Stuff a light jacket in there, and as you needed to use it, whoop, open the pocket, whip it out, and go to town. So that's the front there. The other thing I don't like, so there's really two things. This front pocket is not optimum for me. The second thing is this back panel. It's got 3 raised ribs, one on the outside and then one down the middle. With my both iPad and MacBook Pro in there, it's fairly flat back against the frame sheet that is in there. But this is just really super uncomfortable. It's got these big channels for airflow, great, but it's just not that comfortable in the back for sure of a bag long term, mostly because the design just seems to bow out in the middle because of this major padded rib that goes top to bottom. The rest of the bag, load lifters, cool, thumbs up. A big fan of any bag that has load lifters on it. Definitely a nice sewn in and padded straps that I'm a big fan of, and comes with the sternum strap that is good, nothing to report there. Definitely cool, and then adjustable straps sewn in. All nice and tidy on the back. Again, just not super comfortable when I have it loaded completely out. So that's just me, not comfortable. Top handle, not optimum. But other than that, great features. It is, I would say, more rigid bag compared to the 500D just because of the material, and that's just the way this bag feels. So that's the outside. Let's dive inside of some of the features so we can see where the genius is in terms of everyday carry. Like I said in my previous video, this is one of those bags that you just kind of work out of. So you put it on the chair next to you, you put it on the floor next to you in the coffee shop, at your desk, wherever you happen to be, and then you just flip it down and start to work. So it's got a lot of cool pockets. Here's a cool pocket here that you can just access, and you could put, I put chargers in there before, and then another top pocket that goes all the way in the back. And so that's really cool. What's in here? The MiFi, because you never know when you're going to need reliable internet, and that's 5G. Has 2 layers of pockets, so I've got just charging bricks in here. This is a SSD memory card where I carry all my footage on. That's pretty cool. Fits in there. Apple Pencil, so it doesn't just fly off that iPad as I move it around. Other little cords. Sunglasses fit in this, this front pocket because it's got a little dimension to it. And then a longer USB-C power cord so I can power up the iPad. This front pocket goes all the way down. It doesn't actually go all the way that deep. It goes to about here on the front. So you can put a couple things, pack of cards, you name it. That's where the power brick fits in there. Just so it's all accessible. And again, you fold down that front flap and go to work. And that's what, again, why I love this bag. That's why I love the Evade 1.5, because it's one of those bags you just flop open and go to work. Some of these other bags don't really have the workability that either of these bags do, because right now they're the tops in my book if you needed to work out of that bag. The main compartment, as we unzip it, and really this is where we start to see how this bag packs out. And I've got a hoodie in there because you never know when it's going to be chilly, so I typically put a hoodie in there, which is great. Inside I also have this GPP1. This is my gimbal pocket, so that's what's in this one. And then at the very bottom, my always with me now, because I just absolutely love this size, the Evergoods Cap 1. This is the Carryology collaboration Phoenix Egg. So it's orange, high vis, and the other side, or a bunch of other ones just got released. But this one just fits everything. Fits a ton of gear, and it's got a slimmer profile, so you can really put it in any bag. So that one fits in really any bag, but it also fits very good in the bottom of the Axiom 24. So that's what I have packed out in there. You can see the water bottle on this side kind of pushes it out a little bit. There's some little looped in there, so you could put some other attachments if you wanted, maybe a pocket knife. Not if you're going to the airport. Had to pull that out the last minute, almost got caught with that one. But this is going to take away some of your interior space. If you've got a water bottle in here on both sides, it's really just going to cramp your space overall. The ability to put, in the back is just flat, but you can put any of the control panels that Triple Aught Design makes. I got this one from another member of the Carryology group. Sold this to me. This is the special edition, but just adds some additional pockets for you to further organize. I just kind of put it in there for the trip because I wanted to see how I would use it. I didn't end up using it at all, but it just fits in there perfectly. The back side of this front panel, I mentioned this earlier, is where things sort of connect to the front. So I didn't really end up using anything further. First of all, there's some loop in here. You could put some other organizers lashed in there, no problem. But this is that pocket that goes from here all the way to the outside. So you could, it's not a magic trick, but you could put your jacket in here, and if you were accessing the bag from this side, whoop, whip it out and then put it in there. So anyway, and it is definitely, this material, in my opinion, is not going to get anything wet from the inside to the outside. So there you go. That's the inside of the Axiom 24. So there you go. There's my quick thoughts on the triple Aught design Axiom 24. This one's multicam black and it's in X-Pack. Very cool features, a lot of dimension in these pockets, which I really do love. I love the color, multicam black, just awesome. Love the features, love the livability. You could just really live and work out of this bag. And that's where, you know, the Alpha 19er and the triple Aught design, both those bags really do well in terms of sitting in a desk and getting it. All the bags with like a vertical deal going on, I just, those are probably good bags to sling around and use on the go to get stuff out, but for sitting down at a table, at a desk, putting your backpack in the chair next to you, they just don't really work. But for this one, it does work. One little weird little feature that I probably never would have seen unless somebody pointed out to me in another video, because there's a lot of really great videos, is there's a little bit of webbing here in the middle, and mine is attached, so you can put a D-ring or carabiner on there and put your additional water bottle. There's 3 of them actually. One at the very bottom, top, and in the middle. And so that's cool. This pocket just pushes out in that dimension if you wanted to do it, but anyway, that's what it is. Awesome. So there you go, that was the look at the triple Aught design, Axiom 24. Fantastic bag. Recently took it on a multi-day trip, packed out with iPads and MacBook Pros. Worked out perfectly, and again, you live out of this bag, so you put it on the chair next to you, and it worked out great. So hopefully you enjoyed that little video. I'm gonna avoid falling into the raging river after some storms rage through Georgia. So let's hopefully you enjoy outdoors where you are. It's definitely getting green, pollen's everywhere, but definitely get outside, and if you go, maybe take the triple Aught design. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. See you next time. We're gonna enjoy the great outdoors. Let's do it. I get better luck with the iPad and using Lunafleet. I can really not talk where the genius is